My spouse's business trip was actually a secret affair. How I discovered the man I loved was living a double life, and how I found the strength to walk away. If you had asked me a year ago what I thought of my marriage, I would have smiled and told you we were solid. We had been together for nearly a decade, married for 6 years, and raising a beautiful daughter who was the light of both our lives. Sure, we had our rough patches, who doesn't? But overall, I believed we were a team. We shared responsibilities, supported each other's careers, had dinner together almost every night. I used to catch myself looking at him sometimes, grateful that he was mine. He traveled for work from time to time. I hated those trips not because I didn't trust him, but because I missed him when he was gone. Our daughter missed him too. She would wait by the window around the time his flights landed, and her whole face would light up when he walked through the door. I never thought I had a reason to worry. It was the trip to Chicago that changed everything. He said it was for a business conference. Just 4 days, networking, hotel meetings, maybe a dinner or 2 with colleagues. He was a little distracted when packing, more distant than usual. I chalked it up to pre-trip stress. I even helped him fold his shirts, tucked a note into the side pocket of his suitcase. It said, "We miss you already. Come back to us soon." Looking back, I don't think he even opened that note. When he left, I kissed him goodbye and watched him drive away, completely unaware that the life I thought we'd built together was already over. I just didn't know it yet. The first day of the trip was fine. He texted me after landing. Said the hotel was nice, the meetings were long, and he was tired. I asked for a photo of the view from his room, and he replied with a laughing emoji and nothing to see but a parking lot. But then the calls stopped. Usually, when he was away, we talked every night, brief check-ins at least, especially to say goodnight to our daughter. But this time, it was excuses. "I'm exhausted. Can I call you tomorrow?" Just a long day. Something in me began to itch. I told myself not to overthink it. I didn't want to be that wife, the paranoid, insecure, controlling stereotype. So I waited. The truth came to me in the most unexpected way. A friend messaged me on Instagram. "Hey, random question. Isn't your husband in Chicago right now?" I just saw someone who looks exactly like him in a friend's story. I clicked the story. It was from Maya, someone we both knew, but weren't particularly close to. She was at a small art exhibit in downtown Chicago. And there he was, my husband, in the background, smiling, leaning toward a woman with long, auburn hair. His hand was resting on her lower back, gently, intimately, like it used to rest on mine. My stomach dropped. My ears rang. I stared at the screen for a long time, trying to convince myself I was wrong. That maybe it was someone else. That there was an innocent explanation. But deep down, I already knew. I found her Instagram easily. Her profile was public. She didn't tag him in any photos, but I knew it was her. The same hair, the same dress from the gallery. She had posted a selfie of them together, nothing overt, but suggestive. Just close enough to hurt. I went down the rabbit hole. I found posts from months ago. A photo of a coffee cup next to a man's hand wearing a watch I had gifted my husband. A blurry silhouette that matched his build perfectly. Romantic captions. Comments turned off. I felt sick. The worst part? She looked happy. Radiant. Like she didn't have a care in the world. Did she know about me? About our daughter? About our life? Or worse, did she know and just not care? I wanted to be wrong. I prayed I was overreacting. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through his laptop. It wasn't hard. He rarely changed his passwords. I told myself I just wanted closure, proof, something I could use to finally stop doubting myself. And there it was. Emails. Dozens. Some explicit, others full of affection. "Miss you already. Can't wait to feel you again." She's so distracted lately, she doesn't even notice when I'm gone. I read those words over and over. She doesn't even notice. I had noticed. I had felt the distance. I just didn't want to believe it. When he came home, I waited 2 days before saying anything. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I cried in the shower so our daughter wouldn't hear. Then one night, after she was asleep, I sat him down. I had printed the emails. I slid them across the table, my hands shaking. He looked at them, said nothing for a full minute. Then, "It's not what it looks like." I laughed. I laughed so hard I cried. "Then what is it, exactly?" He fumbled, said it was a mistake, that he didn't plan it, that it just happened, that he still loved me, that he didn't want to lose our family. He didn't deny it. He didn't even try very hard. He begged, cried, said all the right things I had longed to hear, but now sounded like someone else's script. We tried therapy. I agreed mostly because I needed answers, closure. I needed to understand how the man I trusted with my heart and the father of my child could betray us so deeply. The therapist was kind. He talked about emotional needs, disconnection, communication gaps. And yes, maybe those existed, but none of that excused what he had done. The lies, the secrecy, the deception. I told him I needed time. 6 months. If I still felt the same at the end of that, we'd talk about separation. But the truth is, I already knew I couldn't stay. Our daughter was only 5. She didn't understand why I cried so much, why we didn't all eat dinner together anymore, why her daddy was suddenly trying so hard to win us both over with presents and pancakes. I shielded her from most of it. I never spoke poorly of him in front of her. But children know. They feel it in the silence, the tension, the way your eyes don't meet at the breakfast table anymore. It broke my heart to watch her draw pictures of us as a family, stick figures holding hands under a rainbow, when I knew that version of us was gone. I stayed longer than I should have for her, but eventually, I realized I was teaching her the wrong lesson, that love means swallowing pain, that forgiveness means forgetting. I didn't want her to grow up thinking that. I left in spring. We sat her down together, told her mommy and daddy loved her very much, and that we'd always be her parents, even if we weren't married anymore. She cried. I held her. He did too. I moved into a small apartment. It wasn't much, but it was mine. The first night alone, I lay awake listening to the quiet, unsure if I'd made the right choice. But then I looked at the ceiling and realized, for the first time in months, I could breathe. Healing didn't come fast. Some days I missed him. Or maybe I just missed the idea of him, the version of him I thought was real. But slowly, I came back to myself. I rediscovered old hobbies, started journaling again, went back to yoga. I took our daughter on weekend hikes and tried to show her that even when life falls apart, we can build something new from the pieces. I stopped checking his social media. I stopped waiting for texts. I stopped crying in the car on my way to work. And then one morning, I woke up and realized I had stopped missing him. He wrote me letters after the divorce. Long ones, apologetic ones, confused ones, sometimes angry, sometimes poetic. I read them. Then I folded them and tucked them into a drawer. Not because I wanted them, but because I needed to remember who I had been and how far I had come. I'm not in another relationship yet. Maybe I will be someday. But for now, I'm learning to love myself in a way I never did before. I'm learning that peace is better than passion that hurts. That loyalty isn't negotiable. That silence can be healing. That solitude doesn't have to be loneliness. I smile more now. Not for anyone else, just for me. And when my daughter holds my hand and says, "You're the strongest person I know," I believe her. Because I am. To the woman reading this, maybe you're where I was, checking phones, second-guessing your instincts, crying in secret. Let me tell you something. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You are enough. You deserve truth. You deserve peace. You deserve someone who chooses you, every day, with intention. And even if you're not chosen, even if someone breaks your heart, you can survive it. You can rise from it. You can build something more beautiful with what's left. Because you're not just a woman who was betrayed. You are a woman who survived. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and smile not because everything is perfect, but because you're whole again.